Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker, and this is part 4 of the riding the Aprilia home from Germany trip video. So yeah, this one's in the shed. I didn't actually record anything from when I kind of got to the ferry to when I got home. I'll explain why very soon. But just to run through what we're going to cover in this video, I'm obviously going to wrap up the trip. I'm going to summarize it really quickly for anyone who hasn't seen the other videos. I'll leave the links to all the videos in the pinned comment below. A video a day was really tough to get done. Not something I will ever do again, I don't think. Unless I do something like this again. I think a video a day makes sense in that case. But yeah, I'm going to cover what videos we're going to be doing on this bike in the future. And very soon, near future I suppose. What plans I have for it immediately. Am I going to keep it or sell it? Would I do the trip again? Stuff like that. That's what we're going to cover in this video. So to start off, a quick summary of the trip. I left Ireland on a Thursday morning at I left Ireland at 7 AM. I left Kilkenny, my home, at around 2 AM thanks to my brother for dropping me into the bus. I got a bus from JJ Kavanagh and Sons up to Dublin, which was driven like a rally car. Not the most comfortable experience, but you know what, JJ Kavanagh, without them I wouldn't have been able to get a bus to the airport at that time, so I appreciate all you do to keep people actually getting places. It's actually very sound of them. Then I got a Ryanair flight from Dublin to Frankfurt. From Frankfurt I got trains. There was 3 different trains all the way across to Lichtenfels, and then Tanya from Dippold Racing collected me in Lichtenfels, brought me to the government offices to get my export plate sorted, and then brought me back to their dealership in Untersamau in Germany, and that's where we finished off all of the financial exchanges, and I set off on my bike. My bike. It's a nice ring to it. And yeah, from there then, day 1, which you would have already seen, I got from Untersamau back to Eschborn, just outside of Frankfurt. That's where I stayed the night. The next day I left Eschborn, made my way up towards Cologne, and then across and down the coast a little bit to Dunkirk, where I stayed the night on day 2. From there then, day 3 I got up and I went from Dunkirk to Calais, got the Eurotunnel from Calais across to Dover to Crawley to meet up with Hippo Drones, Pete aka Hippo Drones and Big Pezza. From Crawley I had to go all the way up to Holyhead in Wales, and then that's where I kind of left you off. So what happened after that was I did make the ferry, and when I parked up the bike at the ferry it was very, very cold, very windy and still raining, and I had to wait at the ferry terminal for a few hours. Lo and behold, when I went out to start the bike to get it onto the ferry, it did not start. The very nice customs officials, that's sarcasm, just beyond the gate I asked them for a push to help me try bump start it, to which they said no and would not help me. Thanks guys. And he also informed me it was a very long push to the boat. Again, thanks. Sound man. Really appreciate your humanity in that situation. Who knows, maybe at that point if someone had pushed the bike I would have been absolutely fine. I was just really tired, couldn't really get up a head of steam to kind of bump start it myself, and I probably flooded the engine. At which point I did push the bike pretty much the whole way to the ferry, not the whole way. Eventually some kind souls did help me out. I can't remember all their names, but the guys who work at the ferry terminal in Holyhead for Stena Line, thank you so much. Really appreciate your help. They got there. First they tried to help me bump start it. It wasn't having any of it. And then they got a van. We threw the bike into the back of the van and got it onto the ferry. After I pushed it very, very far. So at this point I am physically exhausted. Just completely drained entirely. But we got the bike onto the ferry. And then John and John, both from Ireland, said they'll get me a booster pack when we get to the Dublin side of the ferry terminal, which they did. Jumped the bike, all was good, and I was able to ride it home. Very uneventful after that. But I just want to reiterate, the people who worked on the Wales side of the ferry port, and John on the Stena Line ferry. Hey Cleo, there's a cat there. I cannot thank you enough, because you could have just made that entirely not your problem and not helped me at all, and I would have had to push the bike off the ferry, and tried to ring someone to get me home. 1 second, she can't come in here because she pees in here. Get out, get. Anyway, but they didn't do that. They did make it their problem. They helped me, and I would appreciate it forever, because it's like that. It's just literally someone just giving a shit. That's what makes the difference. The guys at the customs place, they didn't give a shit. They couldn't help civilians. Whereas the rest of you, honestly, legends. And if I ever meet you, I will buy you a coffee or a pint or whatever your choice is. That would be something I would be absolutely delighted to do. So, if you know John and John, who work on the Stena Line ferry from Holyhead to Dublin, tell them thank you very much. And if you know any of the guys who helped me, who probably told you a story about the exhausted guy who was having an asthmatic attack trying to push his bike to the ferry, also thank them and tell them I appreciate it massively. And anyone who knows me knows I really mean that. Like, I could not thank you and thank them all enough. And yeah, that was kind of it. So that was the only bad part of the whole trip, really, is just that the bike didn't start. The battery is completely ruined in it. I think it was probably already on the way out, and you know, riding it 1,700 kilometers in a few days probably just did it in. It's the original battery by the date stamp, so I've ordered a new one from Freeman's, and we'll get that sorted very soon. Other than that, then, yeah, I suppose to get it out there, am I going to keep this bike? Absolutely. I kind of fell in love with it on the way back. It's really, really nice. The engine is lovely, suits the road very, very well. Nothing bad to say about it. So what comes next for this is I'm going to change the battery first and foremost. I also need to check something actually really, really quick. Ha! I was looking up, apparently there's a de-restriction thing on these. They come restricted from factory, and this one is still restricted, so I'm going to get even more free power, and I'll have to check the airbox to do that as well. So that'll be coming up in a video. I'm going to do the brake lines and the clutch line because they're original. Simple stuff. I'll probably eventually do the Oberon clutch slave cylinder, as a lot of people have advised, can help with the clutch. And other than that, there's nothing really major to do. Chain and sprockets, so it's just kind of general maintenance stuff. Nothing that I'm concerned about. The bike rode lovely. You know, didn't have a problem starting when warm or anything like that. It has been looked after, so I'm really looking forward to just getting the battery sorted and getting it back out on the road and enjoying it. That's kind of the short-term future plans. I do want to do a couple of short trips on this, just with a backpack, because I actually really enjoyed just going somewhere with a as light as I could backpack. So I'm thinking maybe Donegal or something in Ireland, I'll do a trip on it up around there as well. Yeah, that'd be cool. Upcoming videos then on this bike, obviously I have to do the cost breakdown and everything involved in actually importing a bike from Germany to Ireland. I recently just VRT'd this bike in Ireland, which means registering it, paying the taxes to register it. And again, just a shout out to William in the Kilkenny NCT Service Centre. He was an absolute gent to deal with, and that is a rarity in some of those places. Big shout out to William. Made the process very easy. I had all my documents and stuff, but it was just a breeze. And that honestly, that makes a huge difference. So thank you very much, William, as well. There'll also be a kind of obviously I'll have to do a first ride video on it. First ride, I don't know what I'm going to call it, but I'll definitely be doing one of them, and I'll definitely be doing a video on kind of why I picked this bike. But to kind of cover it off a little bit for this video, why did I do this trip? I have to kind of shout out a few people here. So the likes of Shade Tree Surgeon, Itchy Boots, who else? Mainly Shade Tree Surgeon and Itchy Boots for people I watch as kind of it's something I wanted to do for a long time, is just go somewhere and ride a bike back, because you save all the time going out there and you just get to just get a bike and bring it back, and then it's yours, or you know, whatever you want to do with it, but that's entirely up to you. And it's something that, you know, they said a few times in a few videos, if you wait for the perfect time to do it, you're never going to do it. And I've had a lot of questions about this one, like, why did you do it in winter? And the honest answer is because I saw my opportunity. I wanted to do something. I wanted to just do something. I think a lot of people feel that way after all the lockdowns and stuff. And this was my opportunity. So I took it and I went. I didn't really think about it too much. I made my plan and I just went because I could. That was the time that I had. And to put this into perspective, when I say it was the time that I had, I got back to Ireland on Sunday morning. I got back to my house at about 8:30. I had to leave my house again at 4 o'clock the following morning to get a flight back to Germany for work. So literally that was my timeline. I had to squeeze it in there. I had a little bit of slippage, and it's also why I had to push so hard to make that ferry, because that's just how it is, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have a little window to make something cool happen, and that's what was my goal was. You know, I'd love to be able to do stuff like Shaytree's doing, where he's giving away one of his latest bikes that he rode back. That'd be really cool to do in the future. But that would be really cool, to just be able to just go somewhere, make a trip out of it, make videos for all of you to enjoy, bit of learning about how to get the bike into the country and whatnot, and go from there. And obviously, like, Itchy Boots is just living the dream. Or not everyone's dream, but you know, I would love to one day travel around the world on a bike. That would be really, really cool. Really cool. Yeah, maybe one day, we'll see. But that was kind of why. It's something that's been in my head for a long time. I said it out loud one day that I was going to do it. And I also actually have to thank Grumpy Bike Wizard. Anyway, sorry, something happened out there. But yeah, Grumpy Bike Wizard made the comment when I said it, and I was serious about doing it, by the way. He said, "Oh, you know what I love? I love lads talking about the things that they're never going to do." And that was, I don't know that he realised it, but that was the last little push over the edge I needed to be like, no, I'm 100% I'm doing this. So thank you, Grumpy Bike Wizard. You were the last kick. Shaytree Surge and Itchy Boots had set me on the path of just doing what I wanted to do, and you were the final push over the edge. So thank you very much. Whether you know it or not, or whether you'll ever watch this or not, that was the final nudge. But that's kind of it. And you know, I've had loads of questions about would you do it the same way again? Would you change anything? Honestly, no. You know, I sat down, I made my plans in one night about where to stop, what was a realistic target to hit distance-wise every day. And aside from the weather complications and the ferry cancellation, I think what I did was plan out a really doable route. It was very much a ride your bike a lot route rather than enjoy the sights route. But again, I had to fit it into a certain timeline, so I'm okay with that. You know, I don't regret not being able to stop more. I don't regret not having more days to do it, because I had my 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I used them to what I think was very good effect. So no, I don't regret it at all, and I don't think I ever will, because yes, it was expensive. We'll go through that in the cost one, but how much do you pay for these kind of trips? You know what I mean? If I hadn't decided to just go and do it, I might have never gotten the chance to do this again. Who knows? Who knows what life's going to throw at you? Who knows what's going to change? You know what I mean? Who knows how busy you're going to be with work, with life, etc. So if you have the opportunity to go and it's not going to lead you to financial ruin, do it. You know what I mean? What's the worst case scenario for me? I look at my bank account and stuff in the next month or two and I say, okay, I have to sell this bike. I really hope that doesn't happen. But if it does happen, it's not the end of the world. I got to enjoy it. I got to ride it more than some people ride their bikes in years, and I got to know it. You know what I mean? I know that seems weird, but I got to know this bike, this platform, and I really, really like it. And all of the good things that people say about these who have owned them are true. My hope is that I get to keep this for a long time and do lots of things to it, because there's lots of things I already want to do to it, you know. The power mods, I'd love to put exhaust on it eventually. I want to change the screen, maybe a belly pan, all the little performance mods that come with it, like the slave cylinder. Maybe do the milli or swing arm. I don't know. But that's the beauty of having time to do it, is you get to make those decisions. I would also like to do rear sets and a quick shifter on it. I think a quick shifter is a definite good idea. I would also like to do a quick shifter on this bike. A lot of people have asked about it. So Heel Tech, if you want to sponsor me 2 quick shifters, let me know. Otherwise it'll be a while and I'll buy them myself. But I do think I'm going to go Heel Tech this time. Not that there's anything wrong with the Vector QS quick shifter I have on my Gixxer. It's just that Heel Tech is not that much more expensive and comes with a kind of a plug and play loom, which I think would just be easier for people. So number one, I want to show you that, and number two, it would also be better for my daily bike to just have something that's neat and into the loom and stuff. So yeah, Another question I've been asked a lot is, does this mean the CBF is going? Absolutely not. The CBF is my daily bike. I have it set up just how I like it. It does crazy big miles. It's due another service now in a week. It's just a workhorse. The CBF is honestly one of the most underrated bikes I think ever produced by anyone. And I will stand by that. If you compare that to even modern sports tours that can actually tour, that have the full luggage and lots of space and stuff, it's no worse. It's no worse. In fact, in some cases, I think it's better. I do think the new NT1100, I think that's a better bike. I think that is a better all-around bike than that new NT1100. And it's less than half the price if you want to buy a good one. So, what would you pick? You know what I mean? Yeah, but to round it off, am I happy I made the trip? Absolutely. I proved some things to myself, I think, even about my own mental toughness, maybe, yeah, mental toughness, we'll go with that. I proved some things about that, even physically. You know, I know outwardly I might not look like the fittest person, but I am actually fit enough in reality. And again, that was a little proof to myself, is that, you know, I was more than fit enough to sit out in very tough weather conditions, to get my head dragged off my shoulders, and still, you know, I didn't get any major aches or pains, and I was able to do the job, which, it's funny, it's a weird thing that you'd think you'd get a sense of achievement out of that, but I did. And a lot of people actually did say it already in the videos, that, oh, I imagine you got a good sense of achievement out of that. Absolutely. The highlights for me were being able to open it up a little bit on the Autobahn, a little bit. It was too windy and rainy to open it up too much, but that was fun. The forest roads in Germany were fantastic. Meeting up with Pete and Big Pezza were, again, massive highlight. And honestly, getting the help off the guys at the ferry, that was awesome. Also, another shout out to Dippold Racing. If you're looking to import a bike from Germany, I have absolutely no affiliation with these people, by the way. None. I paid them the full money for it, you know what I mean? But they're lovely people, and I mean that. They were absolutely lovely to deal with. Couldn't have helped me more on a bike that realistically they honestly couldn't have earned that much money off. So props to them, and if you're looking for a bike from Germany to Ireland, maybe give Dippold Racing a look. I'll leave a link in the description to their website. Tell Moritz that I sent you. Maybe he'll be like, okay, and that probably will be as far as you get. But yeah, I hope you're looking forward to seeing the videos that are coming up on this. Like I said, the expense and difficulty in importing a bike, I'll go through that one. Especially if you want to ride at home yourself, obviously. Some kind people have also supplied alternative pricing if you just want to ship it home, which I will also give you the detail on. Yeah, getting the bike running again, I suppose, getting it out on the road, and then we'll start onto a few modifications. But really, this bike rides absolutely lovely as is, so I won't be changing too much about it. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed the video series. The one video a day was draining. It was really tough to do, so I massively appreciate all the support in those videos, the likes, the comments. Thank you so much. I didn't do this for any of that, but it's really nice to get that out of the other side. I did this for me, but it is really nice to get that feedback on the video, so thank you again. I really do appreciate it. I also appreciate all the support of my patrons, of which there are a few new people on there, so thank you very much for your support. I message every single person who joins individually. I don't understand why you do it. I think you're crazy. I don't think my videos are good enough. But I do appreciate your support absolutely massively, and it brings a smile to my face every single day when I do talk to you guys. So thank you very much. And yeah, until next time, thank you very much again for watching. Adios. Outro crew. What is the first modification you would do to this bike? Other than the power mod, I'm definitely going to do that. I just need to figure out which cable it is I need to snip and cover, and then do the airbox. Also, spark plugs coming for this, so I'll do all of that at once. But yeah, what's the first mod you would do if you owned this Aprilia SL1000 Falco Rotax V2, V-twin? Yeah, let me know.